Welcome to Choosing Recovery. I'm Mike Thompson, sitting in for Tricia Gibson. She's out for this one, and today we'll be talking to a recovering addict, James Matteson. So stay tuned. Hey, welcome back, and glad you could stay with us. And today my guest is James Matteson, and we're going to talk about his, long struggle with addiction and trying to recover. You know, it's come and gone, I imagine, over the many years. So, and he's a longtime friend of mine, and we met here at the college. He was a student worker, and probably classmate at the time too. So
thanks, Mike. It's good to be here.
So, how did everything start?
Well, let's see. I've been an addict more than 30 years, starting at age 10. And it just starts off with peer pressure, basically. You know, drinking, smoking cigarettes at a young age. And as time goes by, your addiction just escalates in a sense. You know, I'm pretty much an addict for anything.
Do you think it's a personality trait?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
Because I mean, anyone who's an addict knows that you're not asked
you don't get over it.
Yeah, you don't.
You're always battling, right?
Yeah, you don't ask to be born this way. You know?
Right.
So, with my addiction, it's consumption on any level. It's food, tobacco, sex, alcohol, drugs.
Well, you know, I could be addicted to on chocolate or whatever. A lot of people, they're addicted to coffee or whatever, and there's some things that are worse than others, or legal or illegal.
Oh, absolutely. It's just the fact that,
just for me, it's like, imagine not having another bite of chocolate for the rest of your life. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
That would be hard.
It's the same kind of struggle.
Although I've tapered down on that. Coffee and cigarettes would be about my only bugaboos this day, I would reckon.
Yeah.
But from age 10, like, I stopped drinking because when my middle brother was born, I wasn't home to answer the phone because I was drunk at age 10. You know.
So were you the older brother?
I'm the oldest of 3 children.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, your siblings look at you when you're growing up like you're supposed to be an example. Well, I wasn't a very good example.
You can always be an example. You might not be the
yeah, but I wouldn't wish addiction on my worst enemy.
Oh, sure.
See. And it's hard to comprehend for some people. Some people can't grasp addiction. They think, oh, this guy's this and this guy's that. And they haven't walked in your shoes.
You think
because
people think it's like just a choice?
Yeah, that's
more
what
of a choice than
more of a choice than an actual struggle.
Right.
It is a struggle. For most people, it's living hell. And that's honest to God truth. I mean, it was for me. Anyway.
So you were into alcohol and cigarettes at 10?
At 10.
Okay. So what was the next step? I mean, you do that for a few years? Or?
Yeah, I started smoking marijuana when I was 16.
Okay.
And from there, people say, they argue the point that it's a gateway drug.
Right.
And it is.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, because then
I wasn't sure if it was the people who are giving you the marijuana trying to upsell you, or you just want to get something a little heavier, heavier.
That's what it is. It just compounds. You see, it's 1 minute you're smoking marijuana, and you're like, well,
what could be better?
Sure, I'm sure there's something out there that can really pack a punch, you know.
Yeah.
And it goes from there. But what really got me was pain medication. I was just a statistic of the epidemic, the pain pill epidemic, you know. The doctor writes you a prescription for pain pills for your back for some minor injury, and then the next thing you know, you're doing Oxycontin, and that moves from Oxycontin to heroin. And that's when you're at the point of no return.
Then it's got you.
Yeah, it's got you. And that stuff is the devil. Absolute 100%
like the
true.
Oxycontin and stuff like that. So was it your back problem or what?
Yeah, it was just a minor lumbar problem, you know, just a backache and
just that little bit.
Yeah, they start you on Vicodin, and the next thing you know, you're doing heroin 3 years down the line. So it's quite a problem to get over. I mean, for some people care less. They think that the life is the party, you know. Some people live, and I used to be that guy, like party boy, you know, all the time, 24/7. Well, you get to the point where you realize there's more to life than just getting high, you know?
Right.
And it's taken 5 rehabs and numerous stints in the county jail to finally come to realization of that.
So what was the first time that you went to recovery or counseling? Was it just the outpatient counseling that you had to do, or was this an inpatient?
Well, the first time I went to counseling was in 1998, and it was just outpatient.
Was that after you were in college here?
No, that was before.
That was before.
That was when that was the first time I got in trouble with drugs. I got a felony,
Okay.
and I was ordered to go to outpatient. So
Okay.
I go to, can I say names?
For
like
what?
Institution, like New Alternatives.
Oh, sure.
I had to go to New Alternatives.
Right.
So in lieu of going to an in-house rehabilitation center. So that was my first trip to Columbus to the Salvation Army, and I graduated that program. See, as long as I have structure in my life, I can walk the line. But as soon as I'm given, if I mix up myself, you know, if I get back into it.
If you have like 2 weeks to yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
And if I don't have it all together upstairs, it's not going to happen. You know, a person has to want to get sober.
Right.
Or else it's not going to happen, because you get around your good time buddies and they're like, oh, you can do this and you can do that.
Just one time.
Just one time. And then the next thing you know, that's why to this day I won't even drink a beer, because
there's
I'm afraid, yeah, because I'm a mass consumer, you see. I have an addictive personality. I drink one beer, I could wake up in the morning with a needle hanging in my arm. Yeah, that's the way it is. It's the way it's always been. So I won't even drink a beer.
So that first time when you sought help or got in trouble, I don't know if you'd say sought help, what was the drugs of choice at that point? Were you just
nerve
marijuana?
pills?
Nerve pills.
Like I said, I've done pretty much every drug there is except peyote.
Okay.
I've never seen it, and that's kind of hard to believe for someone in my situation. But and it's always a combination of things that get me in trouble. Women,
yeah,
is one of the equations.
That can do a lot of stuff.
One factor of the equation, you know. Like the first time I got in trouble, I was on nerve pills and Tylox capsules, and my girlfriend says, oh, why don't you go break into that place and steal some money, and we can get high, and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I'm sitting in the Ross County Jail with a felony.
And she's outside.
And she's outside, don't even come visit a man, you know what I mean?
So would that be the first or second time?
That's the first time I ever got in trouble.
Okay.
Ever. Well, I can't say ever because I got an underage consumption when I was 16.
Right.
Just because one of my buddies got into a car wreck and I was with him. But that was the first time that I really got in trouble.
Right.
And then I straightened myself up. I was on felony probation, and then I started coming to college here.
Okay.
And I was fine for years. And that's another classification they give me. I'm a binge addict. I can go fine for years, and then one day, just like that, I'm off to the races, you know. And
Right.
you wake up slobbering on yourself, and you're just like, ugh, not again, you know. But
So is there regret, you know, or what's the self-awareness after you've like fallen off the wagon?
the
Do you go-
self-awareness.
You know, what are you thinking to yourself? Do you look at yourself like,
Yeah,
Man, I messed up?
I physically sick. I make myself physically ill thinking about it. You know what I mean? I just look at myself in the mirror. I'm just like, you know what I mean? How would I say this? I really don't know the words to put to put on it.
There was
you know?
one thing, I think this may be farther down the road. You told me you saw a picture of yourself. I don't know if it was
Yeah,
a
that
sheriff.
was this last time
Okay.
I got arrested, and I was standing there.
You thought you were cool.
I thought I was, I thought I was cool and collective, and then I was like, I started looking at the counter. I see my mugshot laying there, and I thought it was an old one. I was looking, I was like, man, I look like shit in that picture. Oh, sorry. And then he goes, yeah, man, we just took that. And I'm like, what?
That's what I look like.
Yeah, I started laughing, man. I look like Gary Busey. My
Yeah.
hair was all over it. I'm like, oh my God, I have a problem, man. And that time in the county jail, for anyone who's ever been to the county jail, you know that most people can sit 30 days on your head, but the starvation's what gets me. And this time, all strings were cut. There was nobody on the outside to bring money to put on my books for food. Or
They don't just give you
underwear
food
or
or
anything.
what?
No, oh yeah, they feed you.
But not-
the bare minimum of rations allowed by the state.
Okay.
You know, so you starve to death. You sleep from the time you eat to the next meal, just so you don't feel the hunger pains. And then you go like a 14-hour span between the last meal and the next meal in the morning. So unless you have money on your books, you starve to death, basically. And this time, I honestly believe this. It's like, it was like something out of the Bible, to tell you the truth. It was like when you read the parables in the Bible, and it's like these people go through all this aggression and like they're repressed and struggles they have in life. It's like, but this time in jail, it was a spiritual awakening for me, for real.
Then you never had that before.
No.
Okay. It was just, I got to get through this to get to the end.
Yeah.
Right, you know,
Yeah,
I go
I
to
would just
recovery, and when's my my
Yeah.
graduation
Basically,
day?
that's what I would do. I'd be like, well, I get out of here and go get high. You know what I mean? I would be thinking about what I'm going to do before I get out. But at this point in my life, I'm just like, I asked to be put on Vivitrol because it's one deterrent from using. And if you use on it, it can possibly kill you.
Right.
So that has I have no desire to die anytime soon. But
Well, some people aren't afraid of it.
oh, I know
They'll
that.
just give it
I know
up and-
people that'll be like, "Oh, you can still use on that. I've seen so do this and this and this," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's because they're stupid." You know what I mean?
not
They
gonna
just
gamble
don't
with
care.
that.
Some people don't care if they. I've died at least 3 or 4 times.
So have you had the Narcan?
No, look, somehow it's only by the
haven't
grace
done
of
that
God
far.
that I'm still alive to this very day. Because, like I said, I'm a consumer of mass. You know, when I
Right.
take it. I live hard, I play hard. You
Right.
know?
You
And,
don't just do one, you do it
no,
all.
I do it all. You know, and it's not just one drug; it's levels. You know, weed, pills, nerve pills, pain pills, drink on top of everything. And it's like,
And probably one of the other things that gets you in trouble is, you know, myself, I hear how much drugs cost, or, you know,
yeah,
it's like, I can't afford to do that on what I make.
you're looking at an ex-millionaire.
Yeah.
I'm not joking when I say that. I've spent millions upon millions of dollars on pain medication. $40 a pill, 3 times a day for 365
and
days
how do
a year.
you get that? You take from other people?
I work,
Okay.
but I was also a grifter, a con artist, basically. I con, cheat, steal, do whatever you got to do. Yeah, I mean, because once your addiction gets so bad, there's a part of your brain that's just like,
go get it.
go get it.
I don't care how.
Don't care how. You don't care who you hurt or who loses respect for you or who hates you. You just look right through them, and like you're just looking.
You're a tool to get what I need.
Yep. That's the way it goes.
It's it's
and
a hard
regretful.
thing.
It is, because I mean, when you reflect back on it, when you get your bearings, and it's like, man, you're a piece of filth. Sometimes, it's like, but like I said, this time when I got out of jail, I had a spiritual awakening when I was in jail. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea or religion, and believe me, it wasn't mine. I've been preached at all my life about God, and I'm just like, whatever. But this time,
what made the difference?
What made the difference?
Yeah, why this time did you find religion in your circumstance? And
because I'm not a stupid person, and I know I'm not crazy. But at the same time, it was like God was talking to me when I was in jail.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm not stupid, and I've always been religious. I've always been a spiritual person.
Right.
But at the same time, I was basically an agnostic. You see, I was convinced that I was sure in my mind that there was a God, but I just wasn't absolutely convinced. You ever heard that definition of agnostic? Well, but this time it was just like, you hear,
it got personal.
You're not crazy, but at the same time you're seeing signs every day. And then whenever I went to church, this guy was a preacher. He was dressed like Elmer Fudd.
Okay.
He had camouflage fatigues, and it had Jesus written all over it.
Okay,
and he's got the hat, and he's like, God loves you, and it was like for some reason, and I mean, it literally made, I'm 40 years old, and I was taught not to cry.
Sure.
But I was in tears because that man was pointing his finger at me. It was almost like his finger was burning a hole through my soul. So I got saved. And before too long, we'll get baptized. I think.
Great.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get my son into church now, because I don't want that boy to grow up.
Yeah, following the steps.
Yeah, like chip off the old block. You know, and it's like, that's not happening.
Right.
I don't care if I got to go to the grave trying, it's not going to happen. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't wish this addiction on my worst enemy.
So after you were in jail, and this is where that happened, right? How long was the stint at that point?
It was only 30 days.
Okay.
Going on an eternity.
Right.
Literally.
So did you have a rehab after jail time?
No. Matter of fact, I volunteered to get the Vivitrol shot, but they gave me 30 days off because I got the shot. Because where we live, it's like nobody wants to voluntarily take that shot because, you can't have a good time on that shot.
That kind of closed the door on all the other activities you want to do.
Yeah, you can't do nothing on that shot, which I don't care, and people can think what they want to think about me. I'm really not concerned about their opinions, you know. I know for a fact that I've done anything, so I don't have anything to worry about, because that's the kind of person I am. If I know that it just eats away at me, and well, I'm getting caught up here.
Yeah, well, I've known you a long time. I don't know if it was since the 90s, probably
2000,
and you're real likable. We always got along, And then I hear that, you're back on it again, or you fell off the wagon, and it breaks our heart. All we want is your success. You didn't finish college, and now you want to. Yeah. And we just want the best for you. Because we like you. We don't have anything against you at all. Don't think any worse of you, but we just want to see your success, and you have to know that.
Well, I would hope that you would think that anyway. But, I mean, that's a lot of people's opinions. I mean, people think...
Just write them off?
Oh, yes.
Trust
me, I know people like that. They'll just chalk it up. You know what I mean? Oh, we love you. Chalk it up. You're gone. You know what I mean? But for the majority, people do understand, because there isn't a family in this country that doesn't have at least one black sheep. And that's my wool there. I'm black. Sheep. I'm telling you, man, I'm a scourge of the earth sometimes. My parents tell you. Well, not so much my mom, but my dad, he'll tell you.
Right.
He's my biggest enemy sometimes, but I don't understand that.
Do you think family situations help that? Do you think that pushed you in that direction, or do you think it's all on you?
I can't really tell, because I have a lot of stressors. You see, I've always had a lot of stressors, like anxiety and depression. And
it's like, doing these things was just to have fun, or
that's how
were
it starts
you
out.
Self-treating for a depression or anxiety?
At some point in your life, you always have some reason to do it. You know, like, oh, so-and-so broke up with me. Oh, I'll go get high.
I deserve something for that.
Yeah. I deserve a reward, pat myself on the back. Yeah, you know what I mean? And or you get stressed out, let's go get high, get drunk, and somebody dies, same thing.
Gotta do something
there's
about
always a reason to get high, but there has to be one reason for you to finally stop. You know what I mean? And basically, aside from the spirituality of it all, as my son, my boy has watched me lay in a puddle of my own slobber over and over again, not look like a Saudi POW, have a patchy beard where I just lay around all day, and he'd be like, "You're a good dad." And I'm like, "You're lying to me, man." He's like, "No,
How
I'm
can
not.
you think that?
I love you. You're my dad." You know, I've always raised my son. I'm a single parent. He's 12 years old now. I'm already through the roughest part way back, you know, and he's been more of an adult for his childhood than I have.
Yeah.
You know, he's been raising me more than I've been raising him. So,
I think God puts people in your path.
Yeah.
Just like the person you met with the camo.
Yeah.
You know, and there's different things that they'll put in your path that. And sometimes you ignore them.
Yeah.
You walk right past them.
That's what my point was, because when he said at that time, I remember another time when I was in Columbus, and this old preacher from the ghetto, she was literally from the ghetto. She would preach to crackhead communities and stuff. She said the same thing to me. And she told me, she said, "I want you to close your eyes." There was like 80 dudes in this room. She said, and whenever you close your eyes, what was it she said? She said something, I can't remember now, but she said, "God loves you." And she's like, "Close your eyes and God will show you the light." She was pointing at me out of all these people. My buddy's like, "Man, she's pointing at you." And I was like, "She ain't pointing at me. She don't know me." She said, "You close your eyes." She's like, and God will show you the light." And then it's like, I was sitting there and I had my eyes closed, and she smacked me. She come walking up the aisle while we had our eyes closed, and she smacked me in the back of the head. And you know how when you got your eyes closed and somebody smacks you in the head, you could see
stars
light in your eye.
Yeah.
And when I opened my eyes back up, she was clear back up. And she was like this tall and about this round. You know what I mean? So she had to been trucking. But I like the signs I was telling you about, I seen at that time too. Yeah, and this time,
just didn't take it serious.
Yeah, this time I wasn't going to ignore the signs anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm 40 years old, and what do I have to show for it? I've spent an immense fortune. We could be living in a mansion instead of just a normal house.
Right.
Yeah, and my kid could be already have a college fund saved up, but squandered. You know, just like.
Well, you just you don't want to look to the past.
Yeah.
You know. We make a change, and you have to, go on from there and make the best of what you have.
Well, that's to the point I'm at now.
And then, okay, you've got, you're now a business owner.
Yeah.
And what's the business, and what do you do?
Matteson Landscaping. I provide landscaping services in Wellston. Pretty much anything from lawn care to
Washing
shrubs,
houses,
gutters,
and taking
power washing. And I stay relatively busy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just one-man operation because I don't trust people to, I mean, because where we live, it's just drugs are everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've had this situation happen before. You get hired, and then whoever you're working for is plotting on the house that you're working. So either they're trying to get one up on you and rob you, or they're trying to get one up on them and rob them. So you got to get them before you get got. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that was what I was waiting for. Because I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
Get them before you get got.
You got to get them before you get got. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But seriously, I enjoy my job. I don't have to answer to anybody. Mm-hmm. So, which I've never really had a hard time.
And then
with
when you're on your off time, then it's you and your son.
Yeah.
And that's one of the other things. You have to change the crowd you run with.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't run with the people that you used to run with.
Right.
It's like they say in Alcoholics Anonymous, people, places, and things. And I mean, I don't get into Alcoholics Anonymous because it's just a bunch of glorified hookup spot, basically, most of the time. Everybody I've ever known that goes to Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, I'm not saying that it doesn't work, because the fundamentals of the programs do work.
The idea is correct.
Yeah, but most
and
of
if
them,
you take it seriously, it should work.
most of them could probably get more use out of a Tinder site, swiping right. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's like, hey, we got something in common.
yeah. They're just switching the addiction. But, I mean, I've done it for years. I've been Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous. And they work for the people who want to make them work, but just some people just go to the extreme with it.
Would it be a good thing for you to talk to other people about it? I guess that's why you're kind of here.
Yeah, I mean, it does. If I can help one person by anything, if somebody out there can relate to one thing that I say on this program, I mean, I pretty much serve my purpose,
Okay.
But I'm not a preacher, I'm not a teacher, I'm not anything other than a user, and an ex-user, should I say. But
right.
God willing, I'll never be one again.
We all hope not.
Yeah, me too.
We're all pulling for you on your side. And if you want to maybe get a hold of him on Facebook, you saw the way his name was spelled on the lower third there, Matteson, like that. Look up the Matteson Landscaping on Facebook, and it's Wellston, Ohio.
Yes.
So throw some work your way. And thanks for being here.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Okay. And thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on Choosing Recovery.